Welcome back again. I hope you're excited for the next session. Introducing Arnold Wang from MacArthur Foundation. The MacArthur Foundation develops and promotes the idea of a circular economy. They work with and inspire business, academia, policymakers, and institutions to mobilize system solutions at scale globally. Their mission is to accelerate the transition to a circular economy. Arnold is responsible for designing the business plan for developing a circular economy for plastics in China, while building up the local momentum for speeding up towards transition towards a circular economy. He provides support and consultation to businesses on their circular economy strategies for packaging, engage with key stakeholders along the packaging value chain, and provides consultation and support for regulation and standardization. Over to you, Arnold.
Hello, everybody. This is Arnold Wang, China Plastics Program Manager of MacArthur Foundation. So prior to my current position, I was the Deputy Secretary General of China Plastics Reuse and Recycling Association. So I have been in the plastic initiative for a little more than 2 years. So you might ask me why we need to focus on the plastic issue right now, because our current situation is very alarming. As you can see from this slide, in 2016, 11 million tons of plastics leaked into the ocean. If the business is at zero, the leakage will increase to 29 million tons by 2040. So that's how the 3X stands for. And the plastics we put into the market will increase from 220 million to 430 million tons by 2040. Again, if the business is at zero. And the plastics stocked in the ocean will increase from 150 in 2016 to 600 million tons by 2040. Apparently, this situation cannot be borne by anybody in the society. So if we deploy all the knowledge and solutions we know so far, we can bend the curve from a straight line. So the straight line represents the business as zero, and then we use elimination, circulation, and we innovate as soon as possible. We can reduce the we can have an improvement of 80% of our problem. So meaning we still have 150 million tons landfill, incinerated, or mismanaged by 2040. And also this represents 5 million tons leaked into the ocean by 2040. And this is still unacceptably high. So with our current solutions and technologies, we need to do more. We need to innovate at an unprecedented speed and scale so that we can transition to the circular economy as far as possible. And even with our current solutions and the technologies, we can reduce greenhouse gases by 25% by 2040 and create 700,000 additional jobs by 2040. So the benefits are very obvious. So how can we do it? So we need to make ourselves transition to a circular economy for plastics as soon as possible. And the new plastic economy represents a circular economy for plastics. So, and we need swift actions to develop a circular economy for plastics. We need to eliminate all the unnecessary and problematic plastic items and innovate all the plastics we need. In details, we give you a picture of how a circular economy for plastics looks like. So all the plastic packaging will be 100% reusable, recyclable, and compostable by design. And in reality, we need those packaging to be reused, recycled, and composted in practice. And also, we need to eliminate all the problematic and unnecessary plastics. And also, we need to apply reuse models whenever it is possible. Last but not least, we need the production of plastics fully decoupled from the consumption of finite resources. And all the plastic packaging is free of hazardous chemicals to facilitate the recycling and get rid of the risks related to the workers and all the people involved. But how can we get there? So we have launched several important programs. The most important programs so far include the New Plastic Economy Global Commitment. So we, Alan MacArthur Foundation, in collaboration with UN Environment Program, launched the New Plastic Economy Global Commitment in October 2018 in Bali Island of Indonesia. So we target to solve the plastic waste and challenges at its source. So we unite governments, business, and all the other stakeholders towards developing a circular economy for plastics. And at this very moment, we have over 500 signatories, including 250 business signatories. And also the global commitment brings together the whole plastic packaging value chain, from the converters, collection companies, through to the recyclers and brand owners, as well as plastic packaging converters. In total, we have 500 plus signatories, including 6 of the top 10 FMCG companies and 6 of the top 10 packaging converters, as well as 5 of the top 15 retailers, and much more. And we released the second progress report in November of last year. As you can see, if we see the numbers for Coca-Cola, so their packaging, by design is 99% recyclable, reusable, and compostable. But the number is much lower for Mars and El Oreo, because most of their products are flexible packaging. And also, if you move to the next row, you can see the recycled content for Coca-Cola is also the highest among these top 10 FMCG companies, because food grade recycled content of food grade recycled PET is widely adopted by PET bottles in Europe, America, Japan, and Australia. But also, if you check the reusable packaging, the ratio is still very slow. So we need more actions from brand owners in this area. But one positive result is that the recycled content by the end of 2019 is 66.2%, which represents a 22% increase over 2018. And the recyclability of packaging is 64% recyclable. So still, the brand owners need to do more towards the left 36 packaging which are still not recyclable. But you can see the global commitment only represents 20% of the total plastic packaging used worldwide. So 80% is not covered by global commitment. So we, Alan MacArthur Foundation, in collaboration with UN Environment Program, also call on businesses to set ambitious virgin plastic reduction targets. Right now, we only have 1/3 of our signatories announce the virgin plastic reduction targets. And also, we call on governments to establish EPR, extended producer responsibility schemes, as soon as possible, to provide stable fundings for collection and reprocessing of plastic wastes. And another important program for Alan MacArthur Foundation is the Plastic Pact Network. So we bring together all the stakeholders at the national and the regional level and set up concrete local ambitious targets towards creating a circular economy for plastics. Right now, to give you more idea what a plastic pact is doing, we show you the UK plastic pact. This is the first plastic pact announced worldwide, and it is led by an independent organization, REP. And as you can see from this picture, 13% of their recycled content in all of their packaging by the end of 2019, and their target by 2025 is 30%. So there's still some distance between the reality and the target. And also, why we say the UK plastic pact is very powerful or influential, because all their members in this pact actually represents 85% of the plastic packaging they put on the shelf of the supermarkets of UK. So once they make any decision or make any action, such as by 2019 or by 2020, they will take out or eliminate all the single-use plastic straws or cutleries. They can make it happen. And right at this moment, we have 11 plastic packs in our network right now, including 9 national level plastic pack and 2 regional level plastic pack. And the latest plastic pack which joining our network is the ANZ PAC plastic pack, representing Australia, New Zealand, and their Pacific Island. So they just joined our network actually 2 weeks ago. So including New Plastic Economy Global Commitment and our plastic pack network, we have over 1,000 organizations who are sharing the common vision, the new plastic economy vision. So plastic never becomes waste, and we will keep them in the economy and out of the ocean. But I would also like to use this opportunity to highlight our Upstream Innovation Guide. So the essence of Upstream Innovation is that we want our the businesses, brand owners, to focus more of their efforts on the root cause of our problem instead of the symptom of the problem. So as you can see from this picture, if your house is flooded by water, what do you choose? You close the tap or you mop the water on the floor? I'm sure you will choose to turn off the tap in the first place. So that's the methodology behind. So the Upstream Innovation focuses on the design stage of our product, including choose the right plastic material and the delivery model, the right delivery model, and also the packaging type. The downstream innovation included the innovations on the products after its first use. So after they become a waste, and the technology in this stage include collection, sorting, and reprocessing. So how to put the upstream innovation into reality? So we give you 3 strategies: elimination, reuse, and material circulation. But first of all, you need to have an upstream innovation mindset before you develop a product concept.
This is a film about plastic pollution. Actually, it's about solutions. We should deal with a problem before it becomes a problem. And one way to do so is by eliminating what we don't need. See this plastic tear-off? Who needs that? Nestle didn't. Bam! 240 tons of plastic saved. And what about these multi-packs? So much plastic! Eliminate it. How many tons did that save last year, Tesco? Good stuff. Oof. Look, you can't always take away the packaging, but you can change the product. That saved many bathtubs of water, and of course the packaging. Thanks, Lush. Just be smart about it. Cucumbers need plastic to stay fresh, right? Wrong. You know what's really cool? Spray them with an edible spray instead. That could save this much plastic in the US. And who needs water bottles when you can have water blobs? Look, so blobby. And how about 6-packs that are simply held together with magic? Okay, and some glue. So if you're looking for packaging solutions, read this guide. It's out and it's free. So get your copy. Because this film will eliminate in 3, the 2.
In details, we believe elimination is very important. So without elimination, we don't think we can solve the problem at all. So elimination is more than bans on straws and plastic bags. And we give you 2 approaches for elimination: direct elimination and innovative elimination. While plastic packaging has no essential function, we believe you can directly eliminate that packaging without any negative consequences. But for innovative elimination, we means that for some packaging which do have some essential functions, we need innovative approaches to eliminate those packaging without, but still give the customers the similar or better customer experience. For example, Tesco in UK actually removed the plastic film wrapping multi-buy products, but the customers can still enjoy the money-saving benefits. For example, for $1, but if they buy each cans, they will pay 30 pennies. So, but we can realize these benefits actually when the customer deliver their products to the counter. So up to calculate the cost of their products. So we believe this shrink film for bundling the cans can be eliminated immediately. That's exactly what Tesco is doing. And also in Egypt, Nestle used to put a cover film on the cap of a bottle of water to make sure that this bottle has never been opened before. But after a small design change to the cap, the film is not needed anymore because the consumers can hear a sound of click, so that they know that the cap has never been opened before they actually consume the water inside. And also the greeting cards is very familiar for everybody probably. So the transparent wrapping film is not needed, we believe, and that's exactly what Asta is doing to take out the unnecessary plastics. And this is and also I will show some examples of innovative elimination. So in-house vegetable farms can save a lot of water and the transportation cost, and meanwhile they still offer probably better customer experience by offering the most fresh vegetables to their customers. And actually reducing the plastic packaging is the least benefits we can achieve from this in-farm model. And Wufu, actually, I see this case several years ago in London Marathon. So right now they have already expanded the technology into other applications. For example, in the tomato sauce, and also they use this technology in the fruit net bag. So, the technology actually use seaweed edible film to replace the traditional virgin plastics to deliver their products or food. So Lush can be seen in London in many places. So they sell actually concentrated detergents, personal care products. Actually, I bought a solid toothpaste from Lush 2 years ago in London, but frankly speaking, their price is a little bit more expensive than traditional products or brands. But as you can see, the consumers would like to choose environmental friendly products with their wallets. And the upper left actually use embossed water bottle designs to replace labels, which are very difficult to recycle. So you can see, you can see this in Indonesia, but I have never seen this in China yet. But we also would like to highlight the reuse because we believe it's the right time to innovate or scale up the reuse model, and also to do more pilots for reuse in our countries or in Asia.
Soda bottles, should they all be different? Or can they share one reusable design? That just saved billions of single-use bottles. Kapow! Read the Upstream Innovation Guide.
And the reuse has 4 models. So refill at home, refill on the go, return from home, and return on the go. It depends on where you return actually or refill your packet, your products, or regarding to the type of the plastic packaging. So the first example is Cup Club actually. So this third-party service provider provided their service to brand owners such as McDonald's. So the consumers actually can choose reusable cup in McDonald's, but they don't need to wash the cups, and they don't need to return the cups to the same shop actually. So they just need to find the right drop-off spot with their app, and the service provider club will be responsible for washing the cups and return the cups to the brand owners again, so that they can use the reusable cups by their consumers. And Type-C supplier also has a very good drink dispensers for the customers to choose different flavors. So the customers actually can choose the flavors that they favor personally. So this is we don't normally see dispensers which can be directly used by normal consumers, but normally we can see this in America. And in collaboration with a startup Miva, Nestle also launched the instant coffee and pet food dispensers in Switzerland. After 4 months trial, the dispenser is well received by their consumers, and also Miva and Nestle get very good insights from the dispenser machines they deployed, and right now they are deploying more dispensers in Europe. But these dispensers actually, as you can see in this picture, the customers use reusable cup or reusable packaging to get their products, instant coffee and pet food. These two cannot mix. And also Coca-Cola in Brazil actually deployed universal bottles, so that they save 1.8 billion single-use bottles each year. And also the loyalty for their products is much higher than their competitors. And as some of you might notice, for detergent products, shampoos, and some other cleaning products, only the active ingredient take effects. So if we only sell concentrated products or solid formulas, we can save a lot of packaging and transportation costs. That's exactly our job is doing. So they sell concentrated products, and the consumers can use reusable bottles to contain the detergents or shampoos.
Making stuff recyclable. It's like telling a story to your grandma. If you keep it simple, it just works better. Capiche? Read the Upstream Innovation Guide.
So this comes to our third strategy, the last strategy, material circulation. This is a very complicated strategy, actually including actually through routes, plastic recycling, substitution, and plastic composting. So each can actually can take some time to explain. So plastic recycling, as everybody probably has already very familiar. So includes chemical recycling and mechanical recycling. Upstream innovation focuses on upstream instead of how to reprocess the plastic waste. So we focus on design. And chemical recycling is largely not commercialized in Asia. We rarely see facilities in Asia. And in this picture, Maggie from Unilever took out the color pigment from their packaging container, and so that the recyclate value is largely increased. And as you might already know, in UK and in some Southeast Asian countries, Coca-Cola has changed the iconic color of Sprite from light green to clear, so that the bottles collected can sell a bit at a higher price. So for substitution, this is very complicated. So we need to put the whole solution into consideration in a system. But this example actually shows that Mondi works with Fiorini to change their packaging design from the transparent plastic window to a transparent paper window, so that the whole box of the pasta can be put into the paper-based stream. And for compostable plastics, right now, this industry or this market is very hot in the world, especially in China, due to policy encouragement. But we need to put the background behind, actually. So compostable plastics means that you need compost environment for the plastic packaging to degrade, right? So, but in many Asian countries, we don't have the right infrastructure in place. So, Ellen MacArthur Foundation actually, in their report, says we actually encourage compostable plastics to be used on targeted applications. For example, the tea bag from Unilever actually adopted the PLA for their bag, so that the bag can be put into compost field with the tea leaves together. And also, Pack from Australia actually developed a closed loop system for compostable plastics, so that they not only sells actually PLA compostable plastic packaging, but also they will collect organic food waste together with compostable plastics. And also, they not only collect their own compostable plastics, but also other companies' compostable plastics. So they actually I think this company is very responsible for in this regard. So this actually concludes my presentation for today, and I would very much glad to get any questions from you. Thank you.
Hi, Arnold.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for the session earlier that you shared around the circular economy. Yeah, we'll just jump right into it because we have quite a number of questions that we want to hear your answers from. So first, earlier you shared about the plastic pact, and then it seems like there is a less representation in Asia for the plastic pact. What would you say about that? Yeah, and a lot of the examples that you shared were mostly in Europe and also like the Americas. Are there any examples from China or Asia that you would like to share as well?
Sure. Actually, my job actually focuses on China, but we also have some connections with Malaysia, India, about the possibility of developing a plastic pact in those countries. But so far, we don't have concrete planning or plan from those countries yet, because we do need some lead organizations to lead the pact, to efforts about the pact in those countries, and so due to the geographic differences in Malaysia and in India, we haven't announced any concrete movement or progress in those countries. But in China, we have an office, so we have 8 people, 8 staff sitting in Beijing, in our Beijing office. And right now we are at the initial stage of our pact. We also say we want to establish a cross-value chain dialogue first, so that we can gather in all the stakeholders along the value chain to work together. Then we work towards the pact direction later on. So you can say we still have a long way to go to achieve a pact level. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's also one question. Maybe you can also like re-emphasize like what is the aims of the plastic pact as well.
The aim. I think the big aim is to have everybody along the value chain work together, to cooperate together under the same vision, the new plastic economy vision, and to have concrete, ambitious local targets to work on. So that's the main aim of a plastic pact work towards. So yeah, that's the answer.
Okay, Thank you so much. Yeah, and you also shared, because like circular economy and upstream innovation, it's all about closing the loop around plastic, right? There's a question that's asking like, what are your views on alternative materials, for example, biodegradable materials? How does that, play into the value chain? Do you see a future with it? It is, promoted and talked about a lot, but there are not a lot of like composting facilities able to manage them. Yeah, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, you are right. You are absolutely right. So to put a technology into application, we do need to consider it. With the under the local environment. So with a systematic approach. For example, if we have a very good and effective collection and recycling system for PET bottles, why do we need to produce the beverage bottles with a compostable material? So that's the question we need to ask ourselves before we need to we decide the material of a packaging. So I think the same question can also be applied to other scenarios. If we want to use or adopt compostable plastics for packaging, and so we need to ask ourselves whether we have a recycling or collection system for that packaging. If we don't have any recycling or collection system for that packaging, and that packaging is easily to be leaked into the ocean. So maybe we need to consider, paper or some alternative material for that packaging. So for compostable packaging, as I said earlier in my presentation, we say we can adopt compostable plastics for targeted applications. So, which means we need to we need to consider it systematically, not just if just PLA or PBAT, which we think they are good. They will not compost, or they will not biodegrade in a natural environment. So if you have the composting field, the industrial composting field, maybe you can consider PLA for some applications, and you can put PBAT on for collecting organic waste. So we need to put those. We have a systematic thinking when we make some decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What about, like, for example, for PHA? What's your comments on that? And do you think that is a complement, or is it more of a competition towards the plastic circular economy?
I don't study PLA very closely. So for PLA, you mean?
Sorry, PHA.
PHA, right?
Yeah, PHA.
It can be soluble in water, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. I also think it's the same question or the same analysis can be applied to PHA, because when you adopt PHA, you cannot throw them away into the environment, right? So you also need to collect them and make sure they get into the waste stream. You cannot just throw them away into into the ocean. I don't think that's the that's the way you want to dispose of PHA packaging, and right. So that's what I will encourage you. Don't encourage consumers to dispose any biodegradable plastics into the natural environment. They are not the solution for us. And so for some applications, maybe you don't have any ways to collect them. Maybe you can think about the PHA for that application, but you need to put them into careful consideration first. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yes, very clear. Okay, maybe our last question. You shared a lot of like different examples on how the big brands were able to, transform and move towards a more redesign their products and move towards upstream as well. What is your advice to brand owners, maybe some of the smaller brand owners, or like different levels of brand owners on redesigning their products and materials? How should they start, and usually how long does the process take as well?
It's a very good question and very complicated question. This needs a long answer probably. And for brand owners, first of all, I think you should join our New Plastic Economy Global Commitment. and also if you so you have a clear target, right? So we provide a concrete framework for you to work on. So the New Plastic Economy Global Commitment, so that your plastic packaging needs to be 100% recyclable, reusable, and compostable by 2025. And in any scenarios, just adopt a reuse model as many as possible, and also eliminate unnecessary plastics and problematic plastic materials, including PVC, PVDC, carbon black, straws, etc. Yeah, and also last but not least, to have a certain amount of recycled content in our packaging. So, but this is not a 100%. You can solve the problem we are facing right now, all the challenges the world is facing. And also global commitment only represent 20% of global plastic packaging. So 80% is not included in our global commitment. That's why the Alan MacArthur Foundation, in collaboration with UN Environment, actually encourages call on governments to launch to develop EPR schemes as soon as possible to provide stable funding for collection and recycling. And also we call on brand owners to establish as soon as possible a reduction target for reducing virgin plastics. Right now, we only have 1/3 of brand owners in our global commitment signatories. Actually announced their targets for reducing virgin plastics, and 2/3 haven't. And so that's a very high-profile work they can do. But also, I think in different countries they need to focus on different challenges or immediate actions. And for R&D, you can immediately start to design your packaging recyclable and to change from unrecyclable or not recyclable packaging design to recyclable design. For example, small format packaging, and also to take after pigment from some of your packaging, so that you can increase the value of your packaging, collection value. So there are lots of work, and also for in developing countries, you also need to work with other brand owners or along the stakeholders along the value chain to establish different schemes, collection schemes, EPR schemes, and maybe DRS schemes as well. So that you can provide this funding or and to a lot of work brand owners can do. And also in developing countries, especially in China, we don't see a lot of reusable models in the market. And also you need to provide the options for the consumers to choose reusable model. And if the consumers don't have options, they don't have reuse, they can choose. They have no options but to use disposable packaging, right? So that's some of the examples and some of the approaches I provide to brand owners, and but the work couldn't stop with the brand owners. Even a consumer can do a lot of work in their daily life. So let's work together.
Yes, definitely. Let's work together. Yeah, so thank you so much, Arnold, for your sharing and also for the Q&A as well. There are many questions that people have been asking. So sorry if we couldn't answer all of them on this Q&A session. I'm sure Arnold will be more than happy to answer your questions in the chat. And also, if you want to reach out to him personally, we will be sharing like the social medias as well.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you so much, Arnold.
Thank you.
Before we move on, we're going to be moving on to the last session as well. If you would like to know more about how you can take a further step towards redesigning your products or looking more into circular economy, stay tuned for the next session. Thank you.